There exists a force in this world, invisible yet undeniable, that separates those who command respect from those who are ignored. It is not wealth. It is not power. It is something far more ancient, something kings have sought, warriors have bled for, and philosophers have written about for thousands of years. Confidence. Not the empty bravado of a fool. Not the arrogance of the weak who disguise their fear with loudness. But true confidence, the kind that turns silence into power, that makes a single glance more commanding than 1,000 words. You have seen it before. The man who walks into a room and does not need to announce his presence, yet every head turns toward him. The man who speaks and people listen, not because he demands attention, but because his words carry weight. The man who does not chase approval, yet is respected by all. What if I told you that this power is not something you are born with? That the world has lied to you, making you believe confidence is a gift given to the lucky few. The truth is, confidence is built. It is a discipline. And those who understand its nature can summon it at will, instantly. The ancient Stoics knew this. They understood that confidence is not about tricks or tactics, but about mastering the self. They taught that a man's strength does not come from external validation, but from an unshakable foundation within. Today, you will learn what they knew. Wisdom seekers, welcome. This is not just another list of self-help cliches. This is a revelation. 6 hidden truths that will change the way you carry yourself forever. Some of them will challenge you. Some will strip away the illusions you have believed in for years. But those who dare to listen, who dare to apply what they learn, will never be the same again. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't yet. Every like, subscribe helps us continue our mission of sharing knowledge. And leave a comment below and share your opinion on these secrets, or tell me which one resonates with you the most. Ready to unlock more wisdom? Let's get started. Secret 1. The art of not seeking approval. There is a hidden weakness that poisons the mind of most men, a silent destroyer that strips them of confidence before they even speak. It is not fear, it is not doubt, it is something far more insidious: the need for approval. Most men live their entire lives as prisoners to the opinions of others. They measure their worth by how many people laugh at their jokes, how many women find them attractive, how much praise they receive. They shape their personalities, not according to who they truly are, but according to what will make them more likable. And in doing so, they destroy the very thing that could make them truly respected: authenticity. A man who seeks approval will never be confident. Why? Because he has given away his power. He has placed his self-worth in the hands of others. And when you depend on others to validate you, you become their servant. You bend, you adjust, you hesitate, afraid that one wrong move, one disapproving glance, will make you lose their acceptance. The Stoics understood this weakness deeply. Epictetus, the great philosopher, warned, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." In other words, stop fearing what people think of you. Stop seeking permission to be yourself. The moment you stop needing approval, you become untouchable. But how does one free himself from this invisible prison? How does a man learn to no longer care about the opinions of others? The answer is simple, but not easy. You must understand one truth: people's opinions are worth less than you think. Consider this. How often do you truly think about others? How often do you sit and analyze a stranger's actions, their words, their mistakes? The truth is, you don't, and neither does anyone else. People are too absorbed in their own insecurities, their own struggles, to constantly judge you. And even when they do, their opinions change as easily as the wind. What they admire today, they may mock tomorrow. To shape yourself based on something so fickle is the ultimate foolishness. True confidence comes when you free yourself from this illusion, when you realize that no one's approval, no friend, no stranger, no woman, no superior can ever define your worth. You define it. But here's the paradox. The moment you stop seeking approval, you will gain respect. Why? Because most men are trapped in the cycle of trying to please. When they see a man who does not chase validation, who stands firm in his own presence, they recognize something rare, something powerful. A man who does not need others becomes a man others admire. This is your first step toward true confidence. Stop bending, stop waiting for permission, stop seeking approval. If you can master this, you will already be ahead of 99% of men. But this is only the beginning. What comes next will transform the way you see yourself forever. Secret 2. Commanding your own mind. A man who does not control his own mind controls nothing. He may possess wealth, status, and physical strength, but if his thoughts are chaotic, if his emotions rule him, he is weak. True confidence does not come from external success. It comes from an unshakable inner foundation, a mind that bends to no fear, no doubt, no outside force. Yet most men are at war with themselves. Their minds betray them at every moment. They second-guess their words, overanalyze their failures, and obsess over what could go wrong. They imagine the worst possible outcomes, filling their own heads with hesitation and fear. They create prisons inside their own skulls and then wonder why they lack confidence. The ancient Stoics knew that the mind is the only true battlefield. Everything external, reputation, possessions, even physical strength, can be taken away in an instant. But the mind, if trained properly, remains unshaken. It is the one fortress that no enemy, no misfortune, no insult can ever conquer. Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic emperor, once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." But how does a man gain control over his own mind? How does he silence the doubts, the fears, the endless overthinking? The answer is simple: by mastering his focus. Most men allow their thoughts to run wild like an untamed animal. They let their emotions dictate their actions. They react instead of choosing how to respond. But a confident man does not allow this. He trains his mind like a warrior trains his body. He learns to direct his focus like a weapon, cutting through distractions, self-doubt, and fear. Imagine two men walking into a room. One is lost in thought, worrying about how others perceive him, unsure of his words, drowning in imaginary scenarios. The other is clear, present, fully in control of his mind. His focus is sharp, his thoughts disciplined, his energy undisturbed. Which man commands the room? Which man do people respect? It is always the one who has mastered himself. This level of self-command is not natural, it is earned. It requires a man to ruthlessly filter his thoughts, to reject self-doubt, to cultivate an inner dialogue of strength rather than weakness. When a thought arises that weakens him, he cuts it off. When his emotions try to control him, he steps back and observes them with detachment. He becomes the master, not the slave. This is why so few men are truly confident. They believe confidence is about appearing strong, about faking courage. But confidence is not an act. It is the result of an internal battle won. It is the reward of a man who has conquered himself. And once a man controls his mind, nothing outside of him can shake him. The world is filled with distractions, opinions, and forces trying to pull you in 1,000 directions. But if you can command your own mind, you become untouchable. No insult, no failure, no rejection can break you. You are in control. You decide who you are. This is the second secret to instant confidence. Most men will never master it, but those who do will walk through life with a presence that no one can ignore. And yet, even this is only a piece of the puzzle. There is something deeper, something even more powerful that separates the truly confident from the rest. It is time to uncover it. Secret 3. Embracing discomfort as a path to power. Most men spend their entire lives running from discomfort. They avoid pain, they avoid risk, they avoid anything that makes them feel uncertain or exposed. And in doing so, they also avoid confidence. They do not realize that confidence is not found in comfort. It is forged in discomfort. Think of the men throughout history who commanded the greatest respect. The warriors, the philosophers, the leaders. Were they men who sought comfort? No. They were men who willingly stepped into hardship, who embraced difficulty, who understood that true strength is not given, but earned through struggle. Confidence is the reward of the man who chooses to suffer now so he may be strong later. Most men, however, do the opposite. They retreat at the first sign of difficulty. They refuse to speak up because they fear embarrassment. They refuse to take risks because they fear failure. They refuse to put themselves in uncomfortable situations because they do not trust themselves to handle them. And with every avoidance, with every retreat, they teach their own minds that they are weak, that they are incapable, that they are not enough. The Stoics had a word for this: premeditatio malorum, preparing for hardship before it arrives. Seneca, the great Stoic thinker, would deliberately expose himself to discomfort, wearing simple clothes, eating plain food, denying himself luxury, not because he had to, but because he understood a fundamental truth. If you can endure discomfort voluntarily, then nothing in life can truly shake you. Most men believe that confidence is something they can think their way into, but thought alone is not enough. Confidence must be trained. The only way to become truly confident is to expose yourself to discomfort, to step into situations that make you uneasy, to force yourself into places where you might fail. Because every time you survive discomfort, every time you endure difficulty, you become stronger. Look at the man who refuses to speak his mind out of fear of rejection. Every time he stays silent, he reinforces his weakness. But the man who forces himself to speak, who tolerates the discomfort of being ignored or disagreed with, will soon realize something. Nothing bad happens. He survives. He grows. And after enough repetitions, he no longer feels fear. Confidence has taken its place. Look at the man who avoids challenges, the man who chooses the easy path, who never pushes himself, who lives within the limits of his comfort. That man is fragile. And when true hardship arrives, when life inevitably tests him, he is unprepared. He collapses under the weight of the very things he spent his life avoiding. But the man who has trained himself for hardship, the man who has stepped willingly into the fire time and time again, he does not break. He has already suffered. He has already endured. And because of this, he is unshaken. This is why confident men seem fearless. It is not because they lack fear. It is because they have learned, through experience, that fear is an illusion. That discomfort is temporary. That rejection, failure, embarrassment, none of these things have the power to destroy them. A man who has embraced discomfort is free. He does not need to pretend to be confident because he has proven to himself that he can handle anything. He does not hesitate because he trusts himself fully. He does not fear failure because he has already faced it and walked away stronger. This is the third secret to instant confidence. Stop avoiding discomfort. Seek it. Train yourself to endure what others run from. Because once you have suffered and survived, you will realize the truth. There is nothing left to fear. But confidence does not come from discomfort alone. There is another element, something even deeper, that separates the truly powerful from the rest. And now it is time to uncover it. Secret 4. Speaking with power and presence. A man is only as powerful as his words. A weak man speaks and his voice is ignored. A confident man speaks and the room falls silent. What makes the difference? It is not just volume. It is not just eloquence. It is something deeper, something primal. It is the weight of presence, the ability to make every word feel like it matters, the power to command attention without demanding it. Most men do not know how to speak with power. They hesitate, they mumble, they rush their words, filling the silence with nervous laughter and meaningless filler. They ask for permission to be heard rather than assuming their right to be listened to. And worst of all, they doubt their own words before they even leave their mouths. They communicate weakness before they say a single thing. The ancient philosophers understood that confidence is not just about what you say, but how you say it. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest leaders in history, was known for his calm, deliberate way of speaking. He did not waste words. He did not try to impress. He spoke only what needed to be said, and because of this, his words carried the weight of authority. A confident man does not rush. He does not flood the air with words in an attempt to fill the silence. He understands that silence itself is a weapon, that a pause before speaking can be more powerful than the words that follow. He does not feel the need to prove himself with excessive talking. Instead, he speaks only when he has something of value to say. And because he is not desperate for approval, people listen. But speaking with power is not just about slowing down. It is about conviction. A weak man speaks in half measures. He phrases his thoughts as questions rather than statements. He dilutes his opinions with uncertainty, with words like maybe, I think, or I'm not sure. A confident man does none of this. He speaks with certainty, not because he believes he is always right, but because he is not afraid of being wrong. He does not soften his voice or his words to make them more acceptable. He delivers them as they are, unshaken by the possibility of disagreement. Confidence in speech comes from one thing: knowing that what you say matters. And the only way to develop this is by disciplining your own mind. If your thoughts are weak, your words will be weak. If your beliefs are shaky, your speech will be shaky. But if you train yourself to think clearly, to know what you stand for, to believe in your own words, then when you speak, people will listen. This is why true confidence cannot be faked. Many try. They raise their voices, they puff out their chests, they attempt to dominate conversations, but people see through it. Forced confidence is hollow. Real confidence is effortless. It does not try to prove itself. It simply is. To speak with power, a man must first master himself. He must remove the doubt in his mind, so there is no doubt in his voice. He must train himself to be comfortable with silence, so he never fills it with weakness. He must speak with conviction, so his words carry weight. And above all, he must understand this fundamental truth. If you do not believe in your own words, no one else will. This is the fourth secret to instant confidence. A man who speaks with power is a man who commands respect. But confidence is not just about speech, it is about presence. And presence is not just about words, it is about how you carry yourself in every moment, even in silence. It is time to uncover what makes a man truly unshakable. Secret 5. Moving through the world like a man who cannot be shaken. Confidence is not just something you say. It is not just something you think. It is something you embody. It is the way you carry yourself, the way you move, the way you exist in the space around you. A man who is truly confident does not need to announce it. His presence alone speaks for him. Without a single word, he communicates strength, certainty, and power. And those around him feel it. Most men betray their lack of confidence in the way they move. They walk too quickly, as if they are chasing after something, unsure of their place. Or they walk too timidly, making themselves small, afraid to take up space. They fidget, they shift their eyes, they adjust their posture nervously, as if they are waiting for permission to exist. Even before they speak, their body has already spoken for them. And it has told the world that they are uncertain, hesitant, weak. But a man who owns himself moves differently. He does not rush because he is not chasing approval. He does not shrink because he is not afraid of being seen. He moves with purpose, as if every step belongs exactly where it lands. He does not hesitate because he does not seek permission. He takes his place in the world without apology. The Stoics understood that external chaos means nothing if the inner world is unshaken. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "A man's worth is no greater than the worth of his ambitions." If a man carries himself like a beggar, desperate for approval, his value in the eyes of others will be low. But if he carries himself like a man of worth, a man of certainty, the world will treat him as such. Confidence is a reflection of how much a man respects himself. There is a reason why people are naturally drawn to those who move with calm assurance. It is because confidence signals strength. It signals capability. It signals that a man is in control of himself. And if a man is in control of himself, he is also in control of his world. The human mind recognizes this instantly. It does not matter whether the man is rich or poor, tall or short, powerful or unknown. When he moves with certainty, people respect him. But this certainty does not come from mere posture tricks or superficial body language tactics. Those are symptoms, not the cause. True presence comes from how a man sees himself. If he believes he is strong, his posture will be strong. If he believes he is worthy, his presence will be felt. If he believes he has value, his movement will reflect it. The body is an expression of the mind. So how does a man learn to move like one who cannot be shaken? He does not force it. He does not try to look confident. He becomes confident. And to become confident, he must remove every lie he has told himself about being weak, unworthy, or inferior. A man who knows his worth does not need to prove it. He simply lives it. This is the fifth secret to instant confidence. The way a man moves tells the world everything it needs to know about him. It cannot be faked. It cannot be imitated. It can only be earned through self-respect, certainty, and the removal of fear. And when a man masters this, when he owns his space without apology, he becomes undeniable. But there is one last secret, one final truth, that separates those who merely appear confident from those who truly are. It is the ultimate key to a man's presence, strength, and power. It is time to reveal it. Secret 6. living as if you are already the man you want to become. There is no waiting for confidence, no preparing for it, no hoping that one day it will arrive. Confidence is not something you find, it is something you decide. Right now, in this very moment. The weak man waits. He tells himself that once he achieves more, once he looks better, once he is more skilled, once he is more respected, then, and only then, he will allow himself to feel confident. But that moment never comes. Because confidence does not come from achievement, it comes from identity. The most powerful men in history understood this. They did not wait to feel worthy before they acted with certainty. They decided they were worthy, and then they acted. Alexander the Great did not conquer the world by wondering if he was good enough. He moved through the world as if he already was the ruler of it, and because of that, he became exactly that. Julius Caesar, when told that crossing the Rubicon would bring war, did not hesitate. He stepped forward and declared, "Alea iacta est," the die is cast. He did not wait for permission. He did not wait to feel ready. He chose his fate, and the world followed. A man who moves through life as if he is already confident will become exactly that. Not because he is pretending, not because he is lying to himself, but because confidence is a decision before it is a reality. The mind does not know the difference between what is real and what is deeply believed. A man who tells himself he is strong will act as if he is strong. A man who tells himself he is weak will act as if he is weak. And over time, these beliefs become truth. The Stoics knew this well. Epictetus once said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." Confidence is not something to chase. It is something to embody. It is not something that comes after success. It is the thing that creates success. The weak man waits for proof. The strong man becomes the proof. But this is where most men fail. They tell themselves they need more time, more preparation, more certainty. They do not realize that the man they want to become is already within them, waiting to be claimed. They do not need to wait for the world to recognize them. They only need to recognize themselves. If you were already the man you want to be, how would you walk? How would you speak? How would you face challenges? How would you respond to failure? Now, understand this. You do not need to wait to act that way. You can act that way now. And the moment you do, you will realize something. You are not pretending. You are becoming. This is the final secret. Confidence is not found. It is not earned through waiting. It is taken. It is claimed. It is lived. And the man who understands this, who stops waiting, who stops doubting, who steps fully into his power, he is the man who will own his life, his fate, and his future.